What is up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys had yourselves a great weekend. We are back because we are going to be talking about my quick review for episode one of Welcome to Derry, which is set alongside, not set alongside, but based around the It franchise. And episode one dropped yesterday on Sunday, and man, what an episode that was. I wasn't really sure what to get out of this series, because I like the It movies, but they're not like at the top of my favorite thing to watch. And so I was like, you know what, I'll watch this series. The trailer looks interesting. I do believe they're not actually going to show, at least from my understanding, they're not going to show Pennywise in the series. They may like show hints of him and stuff like that, which is kind of what you got uh, in in episode one. So episode one basically revolves around this character Maddie and a couple of his other friends, but mainly the focal point is Maddie. So the episode opens up with him basically just sitting there in a movie theater watching a movie. Turns out he snuck in and seems like he is potentially running away from home. Not really sure why. Obviously, that's going to be something that we'll learn throughout the series. But he's going to run away from home. Gets picked up by a random family who at first just seems kind of normal, but then starts to like things start to go a little weird. You have the daughter of the family like pull out like a box of liver, and like she's sniffing the blood and everything. You got the son who is spelling, but for some reason can't spell trouble. The dad is weird, the mom is weird, and this whole sequence is just goes on, and they're making their way back to Derry, and he's trying to get Maddie is trying to get out the car, but he can't, and so he accidentally hits the mom. Don't know if she was actually pregnant or not, but she's pregnant, and it was just disgusting. But I loved it. She like gives birth to this weird winged mutant baby or whatever, and then there's a scene like towards the end, just before the credits start to roll, the opening credits start to roll and all that stuff. But there's a scene where because Maddie has a pacifier, and I guess he sucks on that when he's stressed or something like that, but you see him sucking on it, having his ears covered, trying to like drown out the noise, and then a weird moment with the daughter, the son, and the demon baby. They all just kind of like do that slow head turning kind of thing, and ultimately, looks like Maddie is he's done for. 4 months later, we jump ahead. We have characters Ted, Phil, and Lily, each of whom had a personal friendship. Friendship is very tentative here because let's start with Phil and Ted. Those two, it seems like they weren't good friends uh, with Maddie whatsoever. Even Phil mentions how well, no, technically Ted mentions how they had to be paid to go to his birthday party. They didn't even know when his birthday party was, and Phil's like, well, you're not being paid if it's candy. And so it seems like Maddie did not have a lot of friends in Derry at all. And then you have Lily, who it seems that Maddie had a kind of like a connection for, like he liked her and things like that. Even he takes her to a secret spot that Phil and Ted know, which they only mentioned they only showed him once. He tries to kiss her, and she obviously kind of like rejects it, um, and kind of it doesn't end good. So each of them have a connection, even with the I did not get her name, but the girl we see at the beginning who works at the movie theater with her dad, who kind of like helped Maddie get away. Each of these people had a connection with Maddie. And then we just slowly start to get hints of whole Pennywise stuff throughout the episode. You have Lily; she goes to take a bath. She's looking at a bracelet because there's a little rocket ship on it, where Maddie had got her something, I think as a gift and things like that. Because she has her own traumatic experience because she tells Maddie about her dad, because there's a moment in it at the beginning where we're first introduced to her. She goes to her locker. Everybody's like looking at her weird and stuff like that, but she goes to her locker, opens it, and a jar of pickles falls out, and there's like several jars in it. And so I was like very confused. I was like, why are you wasting all those good pickles? But come to find out, her dad, she left a toy in the factory where her dad worked, and he went back to go get it. There seems to be some kind of malfunction with the machinery, and he ultimately dies. And it sounds like he dies, but several parts of his body get put into pickle jars and then it's shipped out to different parts of the country, and that is just insane. And so she blames herself for that, because if she didn't care so much about the toy, her dad would still be alive. And so, and it's just that it is just something. And this taking place during, just I believe, just not just after Korea, but kind of like midst of Cold War, early Cold War situation. um you have Leroy, who fought in Korea. He flew a B-29. He arrives at the Derry Air Force Base because he is going to be test piloting the new B-52 bomber and things, and he's just things like that. So, um, and so that is that. And then I'm trying to think who else was it. And there's a like there's moments where they're just playing on like the fear and everything, because Lily is it's basically taking a bath. According to her mom, she has not been to her dad's grave in over a year. And so, but she's getting ready to take a bath, but she starts hearing the sound of Maddie's voice coming through the pipes, and she's talking about, Maddie, let me know where you are, come home, and that kind of stuff. And he literally says he won't let me, with like his bloody finger popping up out of the drain of the tub. And I was just like, so the thing about this episode, and probably what we're going to see throughout this series, but one of the things I liked was just visually, it actually looks good. Like the costumes and everything, the 50s, 60s style of clothing that they're doing. Um, it looks good. It looks really, really good. This looks like, I'm very curious on where they filmed this location. I think it's more than likely the same where they done with the two It movies. Um, but then there's a moment when Teddy's at dinner, and this is just after they had a conversation with Lily, because everybody think it's like loony Lily, basically. They think she's insane. But this is after a conversation where she goes and meets Phil and Teddy to tell them about what happened. Um, and then later on, Teddy is trying to like ask his dad a question. They're Jewish. I don't know if that really mattered or not, but his dad talks about how, us Jewish people have faced the worst horrors of of mankind or whatever. And he talked about how I during World War II, skins of Jewish people were made into lampshade. I don't know how true that is. I'm not here. I was like, is that just is that a little bit too much? So so that happened, and then later on that night, Teddy is just sleeping and everything. He's trying to like turn on. He's reading a comic book. He's reading Detective Comics, like a Batman comic, and like his lamp is going on and off. So he goes and flips it off. It goes off. He flips it on. Flips off. He flips it on. Then he does it again, and then the entire. I'm telling you, this was so wild. The entire lampshade is kind of this basically the best described what his dad was talking about. It was made of like human skin, and you can see like the faces moving and everything like that. And oh man, it was so wild with that happening. And so they go to the library. Phil, Maddie, Lily, and Susie. They go to the library to try to pull up more information about Maddie, and they talk about how he was last seen at the theater by the owner's 12-year-old daughter, which it seems Susie, not Susie, but Lily and Ted know who it is, so they go over there. And I always forgot her name, but she talks about how like the cops tried to pin it on her dad or something like that, and she tells them to leave, and as they're leaving, Phil mentions about the song in the drain, and she pauses. She's like, "What are you talking about? I heard that." So they go to the theater and basically pull up the movie that that Maddie was watching the night he disappeared. And as they're watching it, the song that Lily heard starts to play and everything like that. And then not only that, we get a glimpse of Maddie and that family from the very beginning. Now I'm curious on if the family is originally from the movie or they just happen to get put in there. I'm not really sure about that aspect right there, but we do see them in the movie. And Maddie blames them for what basically is. He's basically saying it's their fault for what happened to him and things like that. And like he kind of looks down, the baby starts crying. He does the Pennywise smile and everything like that. And then the freaking demon baby comes out of theater, and it is just wild. It is going haywire, destroying everything, basically killing. At least, at least, unless something changes, unless I don't know what we have to wait for episode 2, but it seemingly kills Ted, Phil, and Susie, leaving Lily and I don't remember her name. What's her name? Alive, and I was really surprised about that. If that is the case, now again, we have to wait for episode 2 to come out before I really want to know, because that is pretty bold, because they kind of set these kind of characters up to be be main characters in this series. Now obviously there's more people who show up throughout the series that we're going to see. I only watched the one trailer for Derry. I don't know if there was like anything else. I know there's more trailers and TV promos that came out, but it was just insane with this. Like, it was just crazy. What a start to this first episode. Like, I think this is going to be a really good TV series. Like, now obviously we have to see if they can continue uh performing well, but like this first episode I really really enjoyed. I really really liked it. There's just moments where I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, this is disgusting, but like I kept watching it. um the character, the cast was fine, and there was, you got basically kids. I think they're all kids. Let me see. Let's see. Oops. There we go. Cast, let's see. Well, Bill Skarsgård is credited in the series, so he may be in it. Okay, it's not showing the kids, it's only showing the adults. Let me go. Here we go. Oh, this is interesting. Veronica, I think yeah, that's her. So yeah, yeah. She is, I don't think it's gonna tell me. Oh, she was in a few things. So okay, so her name is Amanda Christine. She plays Veronica. Shows that she's going to appear in 3 episodes. Lily, Clara Stack. Okay, interesting. Okay, well, I'm interested. Like, I'm very interested in this. So we'll see how this plays out with the rest of the series. But guys, that's my little quick review for episode 1 of Welcome to Derry. Really, really liked it. Very much so happy to see what goes on with the rest of the series. Definitely recommend it after this first episode. And obviously, we'll have to see how things play out the rest of the way. But overall, really liked it. Be sure you hit that like and subscribe button, comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video. You guys have a good one.